420. Some of you probably are watching this at 420. For some of you, that may mean something, but there are a lot of you probably saying, so what? So we invited someone in to explain. He is Stephen Hager, the editor-in-chief of High Times magazine.
Note that the views expressed by Mr. Hager are completely endorsed by the 420 Show and the 420show.com.
Apparently, it's got some signification with marijuana use, right?
Yeah, it's been a code word for many years inside the counterculture. It's as a code for marijuana.
Now, what is it? Where'd it come from?
It actually came in 1971. 6 students at San Rafael High School invented it. They picked 420 because it was the time of day they were going to meet to go look for an abandoned pot patch that they found a treasure map to. But 420 has a lot of meanings now. It can mean anything from, do you want to go smoke some pot? Do you have any pot on you? Is it 420 yet? Or, but it's a way for this persecuted culture to talk to each other and not be exposed to people that, like teachers or police or, people like that,
now,
outside the culture.
Is there any truth to the rumor that at 420 also meant there's marijuana smoking or drug use going on by the police? That was one urban myth.
That was a false rumor. People just try to figure out where to come from. Why is it so popular? Well, I really think that what this shows is that the counterculture is really kind of like an infant baby spirituality that's birthing. And what you see here is the first real national holiday of this culture is emerging. And what's kind of interesting is it's around the same time as all these other big holidays like Passover and Easter. And it's universally and globally adopted by millions of people now as a holiday. I should say off the top, too, that High Times doesn't promote the use of marijuana by children. We're very much against that. But the counterculture has a sacrament, and that sacrament is cannabis. And we believe that the laws against it are wrong. And these are very deep-seated beliefs. It's only natural that our first big holiday would involve cannabis.
So what's going to happen on 420? Besides people getting stoned, what's going to happen?
Well, I think that the most traditional and one of the biggest celebrations will probably be on the top of Mount Tamalpais, which is the central peak of Marin County. That's the birthplace of 420, and that's where the tradition has been established for the longest. What I'd like to see happen, I'd like to see a moment of silence for peace in the drug war. I'd like to see a moment of silence for the victims of Waco and Columbine and Oklahoma City. And I know there's a lot of, very tragic events that are happening right around the same time. And I think that we need to study why these things are happening. Why is there so much violence in our culture? And really what the 60s counterculture represents is nonviolence and peace. And this is what we're trying to bring to the table. I see it as part of an emerging spirituality that I call the counterculture.
Why go public with it?
Well, we've been doing 420 for a long time now, since the 70s. And it's time to bring it out into the open. It's time to show the world that we're a legitimate minority group that suffers persecution through the use of our sacrament. The initiatives that you see in California and the other 9 states that have passed medical marijuana laws, these initiatives have been pushed forward by the counterculture, and it's our agenda, and we really went to protect the sick people first. We don't care about our own personal use as much as we care about people with serious illness. We spent the last 10 years trying to get sick people access to marijuana, and that's been very successful. The part that's used for medicine is the flower, and the rest of it, the stalk, can be used for about 40,000 different items, and everything that it used to be made out of is now made out of petrochemicals, petrochemicals are the major cause of pollution on the planet. So we'd really like to see farmers growing non-THC industrial hemp as a commodity to replace all these petrochemical products.
All right, Stephen Hager of High Times magazine, thanks for filling us in on 420 today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
You're watching World News Now. 420.